Hello and welcome. The Delaware Department of Transportation, in coordination with the Lewes Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee and consultant teams from WRA and Rossi, held a public open house on Thursday, June 15th to provide information and gather feedback on the development of the Lewes Bicycle Master Plan. Additional information can be found on the project website at the direct link located below or by scanning the QR code with your phone. Do you have thoughts or comments to share with us? Please take a few minutes to take the Lewes Bike Plan Survey, also located on the website. A separate QR code is provided for your convenience. The following is an online overview of the in-person workshop. A PDF of the displays is also available on the project website. As with any plan development, there is a process involved. We are currently in the data collection phase. We have been evaluating existing conditions, obtaining input from the Lewes Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee to develop a vision and goals, and obtaining feedback from the public. The next step will involve the development of recommendations based on public feedback, policies and programs, and bike infrastructure with continued coordination with the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. The last step will be plan development, where all of the findings and recommendations are finalized. A second public workshop will be held in the fall to once again present information to the public. Additional information on how bicycle projects get prioritized and the funding process is included on this display as well. Please see the PDF version for the ability to zoom in on the graphics. An integral part of the plan development is establishing a vision or a description of desired future condition and goals, which are tangible objectives that deliver against the vision. The proposed vision statement is to create a community that encourages walking and bicycling for fun, errands, and commuting. The 7 proposed goals are: Goal 1, continuous, safe bicycle and pedestrian network that ensures a contemporary pedestrian-friendly environment for visitors and residents. Goal 2, adequate and secure bicycle parking and pedestrian amenities at all major trip destinations, including but not limited to all city parks. Goal 3, ensure safety for pedestrians and bicyclists is incorporated into all discussions related to the design, maintenance, or enforcement of all city and state maintained roads. Goal 4, bicyclist and pedestrian well-being shall be a cooperative undertaking. Goal 5, continuously improve bike and pedestrian safety through educational programs. Goal 6, adopt community engagement strategies to monitor use of pedestrian and bicycle facilities. Goal 7, develop a concise plan with achievable short and long-term goals. Public engagement is another key piece to plan development. Here, we show a summary of the online engagement as of June 12th. As you can see, we have had an amazing interaction on the project website with over 100 people responding to the survey and subscribing to project updates. Some feedback that we have received so far includes the need for more trails, bike lanes, and better sidewalk connectivity. People generally feel safe biking on trails and minor roads, but are less comfortable on major roadways. People generally feel safe walking. More bike racks are needed. And there is a need to promote bicycle safety, awareness, and education for motorists and bicyclists. Again, if you haven't already, please take a few minutes to take the Lewes Bike Plan Survey. Please share the link and the QR code with your friends and neighbors.
This board shows the level of traffic stress on streets within the city of Lewes. Now, traffic stress is what it sounds like. It's how stressful it feels to bike on road on streets within the city of Lewes. So we basically rank each street on a range of 1 to 4. 1 being a roadway that feels comfortable for almost anyone to ride, and 4 being a roadway that only those we consider strong and fearless are comfortable riding. So you'll see there, if you look at the legend on the lower right-hand side of the map, 1 streets are accessible to only everyone are shown in green, and those include local roads. and by local roads I mean neighborhood streets, which are most of the streets in Lewes. And you can ride pretty comfortably on those local streets. But what happens when you get out onto a larger roadway, such as maybe New Road or Savannah Road or Pilot Town Road, that there's more speed, higher speeds and more cars. So those roads are classified usually around 3, which is for riders who are enthused and confident, but they're maybe not a road you would be comfortable taking young children on, or a visitor from out of town who's not comfortable biking. Fortunately, Lewes also has a great network of trails, which are shown in blue, and those are also classified kind of LTS 1, which is accessible to everyone. And the way we use this map is really to see where there's gaps in the existing network. So we have a lot of great neighborhood streets, we have a lot of great trails, but how do we make sure that we can, say, get from the Georgetown to Lewes Trail into downtown Lewes in a way that feels safe and comfortable for all riders? And the reason we care about that is because we know most riders, as shown in that Bicyclist Design User Profiles chart, are in the interested but concerned category. They're going to only use a bike facility if it feels comfortable and safe to them. So we hope you can use this map to think about where new bike facilities would help close gaps in our low stress network, so you really can get from your origin to your destination safely and in a way that's comfortable for you and your friends and family. Now, at the workshop, we asked attendees to kind of classify themselves as what kind of cyclist are you? So again, if you are someone who is strong and fearless, comfortable riding on any road in Lewes, even roads with traffic or higher speeds like King's Highway or Freeman's Highway, you're probably someone who will ride on pretty much any roadway. You're strong and fearless, you're comfortable out there as things are. Now, if you're more in that, like I said, majority of the cycling population, interested but concerned, you're probably a little bit more limited in where you can get to. So you would put a dot in that kind of LTS2 category. So again, just as you're thinking about this and what types of bike facilities you need to comfortably get around Lewes, think about how you ride, but also think about how others ride. And maybe you're a LTS4 rider normally when you go out, but if you have your grandkids visiting, you're gonna pick different routes. And what we wanna make sure we're doing is when we invest in new bike infrastructure, that it's accessible to the majority of the population, not just the few. Lastly, we want to give you a little bit of an overview of some of the projects and improvements that are planned currently in the Lewes vicinity, as well as other studies that are underway to look at new connections. And so if you look at the purple icons, you'll see that they correlate to some projects that are already in the pipeline. So those include, number 1, the bridge replacement that will happen on New Road over Canary Creek will also include a side path along New Road, as shown dotted in purple over there. Number 2 is the Old Orchard Road realignment. That also will include a new side path, and although that's outside the city limits, we know a lot of you ride, everywhere in the Lewes vicinity, not just within the city, so we wanted to make sure you were aware that was coming soon. Number 3 is the US 9 Kings Highway project. Now that's a big one. I know many of you have been aware of that coming. That project will be coming to a public workshop later this summer. But know that all of the alternatives being considered for that do include a side path. So that will provide side path connectivity from Route 1 all the way into the Freeman Highway split. Number 4 is a smaller project right by the Lewes Elementary School for some bike and pedestrian improvements along Sussex Drive, and that's part of the Safe Routes to School program. And number 5 is improvements at Monroe Avenue that are being provided by the developer of that new development going in across from the library, and that will include a full signal with crosswalks at Monroe Avenue, which will really help connect the Junction Breakwater Trail over to the Georgetown Lewes Trail without having to proceed all the way down to the canal and loop back. Now, also some studies underway looking at connectivity over the canal, potential for that. Also out on Savannah Road, the Savannah Road Master Plan is underway, so that study will be proposing some ideas for Savannah Road. Also, some two small trail connectivity studies shown as C and D over on New Road and Old Orchard Road to provide that last connection and side path along New Road out to the new Minos Conway project, and then down connecting to the new pathway with Old Orchard. And as we are kind of considering other projects that this plan could entertain, we've shown those in yellow. So what those get into is some connections that we've noticed that might be useful based on feedback we've received from the public so far and our analysis, as well as some challenging crossings we've circled in red. So as you take a look at this, give it some thought as to challenging crossings you encounter when you're biking around Lewes, some connections you wish exist, maybe from the existing trail network to destinations around town. Those are the types of ideas we would love to hear from you. And on the lower right-hand side there, you'll see a chart that really shows how we select what a preferred bikeway type is, which means, does it need to be separated from traffic or not? And we make that decision based on the speed cars are traveling and how many cars are on that roadway. And you'll see a lot of the streets in and around Lewes, due to the speeds and volumes of vehicles, fall into a preferred bikeway type being a separated bike lane or shared use path. So that is also for your consideration. So thank you very much. Please share this presentation with your friends and neighbors. We'll be continuing to collect feedback through mid-July on your ideas for improvements to the bike network in Lewes. And also, other ideas, is there a location you would really love to have a bike rack? Are there other issues you encounter when biking unrelated to bike facilities? Do you have ideas for how to better educate people biking and people driving to be more courteous road users? All of those things, we would love to hear from you. So please tune in. The same site you are looking at this video includes a survey that you can take, and we will be sure to incorporate all of your great ideas into the recommendations we will bring back to you in the fall of 2023. And we look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.